Hello, doers. My name is Jose Ignacio, and today we're talking about Stealthywood. And we happen to be growing fast and hiring people to help us scale. But because of that, we have a bit of an issue. As our new employees learn to use our Odoo database, they keep changing fields in our CRM pipeline. I know, they're terrible. Of course, we love seeing them learn how to use the tool, but this is causing extra work for our sales team. So, to correct this, we will set up group access rights for our new hires so that they can only read what's in the CRM app. This will still let them see what's going on in the app, but will prevent them from making extra work for our sales team. So before we begin, let's discuss why we use access rights instead of individual user permissions. Groups remain effective even when users change, and they simplify permissions management and all of these things for multiple users. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. Alrighty, so to get started, let's select our settings application over here. Now, you're going to want to have developer mode on. As you can tell, I already have it on. If you don't, just scroll to the bottom until you hit the developer tools area and you can activate it right there. Now we're going to scroll all the way back up to the top because we're going to users and companies and then selecting groups. Okay, from here, we're going to select new. All right, we're going to select our CRM application because that's the one that we're creating permissions for. All right, we're going to name this one New Employees with the proper caps. Perfect. Now, we're going to leave the share group box unticked and API keys maximum duration days over here unfilled out. These handle more technical permissions that we don't need to worry about right now. But if you're interested in learning about them, I'll link some docs below. All right, now we're actually going to get into the meat of making the group. Down here, select Add a Line inside of the Users tab. And we're going to select who to add. It is going to be Ernest Reed and select Jeffrey Kelly. We're going to pick both of them right there. And then we're going to select. Next, I'm going to click into the Menus tab over here, and you guessed it, we're going to add a line. And that way we can pick what screens within the CRM app will be targeted by this group. We're going to search up at the top for CRM right there. And then, once we're good to go, we're going to check the box next to it. Great. Now, I wanted to basically mention that if we go up here, you'll notice that there are actually sub-menus if we wanted to select it, but we don't actually have to worry about this like CRM-leads. We're only making permissions for the entire CRM app. So we're going to close that out, and instead, we're just only going to do CRM and select it. Great. Now we're going to click into our Views tab over here, just to set what views the new employees can see within the app itself. We want them to learn, so we want to make sure that they can see all of the views. So to do that, we're going to select Add a Line. We're going to be doing a lot of that today. And we're actually going to be grouping by model over here. And now this time around, type in CRM, and we're going to search model for CRM. Great. So we are actually going to select all of them to see all of the CRM app views. This is a lot of collapsible views right here, but we want them all. So we're going to click on this little box over here at the very top and hit select. Nice. Think of these as just different ways to look at a list of leads or opportunities within the CRM app, like the Kanban view or the list view. We're almost done, by the way. Just hang in there with me. Now we're going to move on over to our access rights tab. This is where the magic happens since these are the permissions set for Ernest and Jeffrey. We're going to select Add a Line. I promise you. We're almost done. And we're going to give it a name this time around. We're going to do CRM dot. Even better, we had it right there. Now, if you see over here, it's essential to have a strong naming convention for these just so that you can tell them exactly and what their purpose is. And that's why ours says new employee dot update probs. You can probably guess what I'm going to do over here inside of our model field because of that. We're going to select search more. Now, under the top, we're going to open up and expand our search thing, and we're going to select group by, and then we're going to select model. Great. That just makes things a little bit easier as far as what I need to look at. Because once again, we're going to search up at the top for CRM, but before we do anything, we're going to click the first one, model CRM. This will show a bunch of different permissions to manage. But remember, we're doing this once so that it can apply to multiple users at once instead of having to do it for each of them separately. So I am going to go to the crm.lead.plus.update one, and we're going to click it for this one. All right. And finally, we're going to do read access for this one. just since we don't want Ernest and Jeffrey to modify our lead probabilities, but we still want them to be able to see them. I have a few more permissions to manage, so I'm going to be right back after I finish those up. All right, that was fast, and as you can see, I set up the rest of those access rights, but don't worry, the process is exactly the same for all of them. Let me explain what each of these little checkboxes over here is. These are different actions the user can take within an app. For example, for this new leads one up at the top, under the lead model, this one means that any user in this group can only read lead records within the CRM app. They cannot create new ones in the terms of the create access, and they also can't edit existing ones or properties over here, or even delete them. And this is how you manage that. But let's make sure everything looks right. I'm going to select users and companies up at the top, and then we're going to select users this time around. Okay, let's click into one of the ones we edited, Ernest Reed. Perfect. Here we go. So, if you'll notice, we'll see that CRM access rights under sales over here, and it says our group access rights name, which happens to be new employees. That looks good. But let's see what it looks like for them. Okay, so now that we're inside of Ernest's account, as you can tell by the top right, letter E, we're going to select our CRM application over here. Now we're going to select leads up at the top. All right, we're going to click into one of these leads, like the design software info one. Let's try to adjust the lead's probabilities to something that we like, such as 42%. Oh no, access error. Wow, looks like everything's working as intended. And that wraps up this tutorial. To recap, we created an access rights group for our new employees, enabling them to view information in the CRM app while preventing them from editing, creating, or deleting any records. Go grab a snack,